welcome to a spirit animal message. And if tonight's your birthday, I'd like to just say happy birthday. How we got this, we just, where is it? This is 432 frequency. It's a tuning fork. I like to thank anyone who comes and watches my channel. Let's get right into your reading. Okay, we're starting out with Tiger, okay? Tiger, fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. So, there was this energy at the start of this reading when I loaded it on my shorts, which was when I started pulling cards. If you can conceptualize it, you can be it. And I thought of the goat when I because I think of people who conceptualize things in artistic ways, right? And I thought, I learned of, what a lot of people use as a spirit animal when they're in a certain space, right? So I thought of greatest of all time, goat, right? So I was like, oh, right, that's that one. Okay. So that's another part of this message. So you have this legendary, possibly, energy towards, and I think about how alluring this creature is, right? It's such an alluring animal. When you see one, I myself, this was an animal that all my childhood, everyone always got me white tigers. I know I have an elephant behind me, but I had a very close bond with tigers themselves, and especially the Siberian white tiger. I had a really tight love for it. So something you're extremely passionate about, perhaps many things are starting to, you're starting to get your mind mapped around the things that you're doing. It's like things that you maybe have put baby pebbles into yourself to understand it enough to, maybe give your brain enough information to create the conceptualization of what you could potentially be. And that a lot of that energy now is like coming into this like fruition space where now it's like you've left a cycle and you're starting a new cycle of consciousness. It's like an old cycle of consciousness versus a new cycle of consciousness, and the new cycle of consciousness is more love-based versus fear-based. And love-based is going towards those things that bring you joy. And when it brings you joy and you're embodying that joy, it's like you can't be that without it affecting the people around you or the world around you in a positive way. Almost like being that is going to reflect that and get that energy driven out of others, right? Inspiring others to do the same. So you have this also, if you see this as a totem animal, which I wrote this down because I do. You have a powerful guardian. You are accompanied by a powerful guardian. That's what I wrote down. You're taking action unapologetically, being you, having what you need, enjoying the journey. Words I'd like to read off is strength, will, stealth, invincibility, passion, sexuality, yin and yang. So that's that balance between the masculine and feminine. Balance. Fluid movement, fiery devotion, solitary ambition, fierce and determined. Tiger symbolizes royalty and dominance and passion, so I feel like you could be in the public eye even. The energy of this tiger has this energy of born blind, the tiger, and later developing heightened senses and strong inner sight to survive. So I feel like when we're in a lower state of understanding, like when we're born and we're children, right? And we see a world in through like this like blind state. It's like we don't know who we really are, right? And not always, but sometimes we get these gifts where we get to perceive ourselves in a way where you develop senses that are not just of your eyes, but your inner eye and the senses within your mind that assist you get to where you're going, right? Because you're in that flow state with yourself. Because you're being life in a way that it comes for you. What you're attracted to is magnetically being drawn to you because you've shifted into more of a magnetic energy. So then we have, oh, not that one. And then we have horse. Horse, freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. So, gaining the momentum that you would need towards your dreams. Something I read today was, just to mention it, was The Custodians by Dolores Cannon. And it was an amazing book, and anyone who hasn't read it that comes here, you should really check out her books, Dolores Cannon. And if you relate to feeling like it's just a seed planted to assist the world in ways to help raise the consciousness of the planet and help in various ways humanity as your more authentic self, you're getting the energy, or you're getting the inner knowing you need to get where you want to go. And then we have dragonfly. So dragonfly, magic. I think about when the dragonfly is under the water and it's just developing and maturing. It's like a different creature altogether. It lives under the water. But then when it emerges out of the water, it climbs on the lily pad and it spreads its wings and it dries off, and then its colors start to come in, right? And it has wings, and it's in an entirely new world, right? It's like it shifts from one world to another world, because when it's in its maturity, infancy space, it's underwater. And when it comes out, it's like it sees the world in this whole new way, and it has its color. We have the energy is gaining momentum. The energy is gaining momentum. It's like you're and later, as your momentum gains, and it just gains, it's like who you are even now, even though you've been changing so much and you've been learning so much, it's like even now who you will be in not even a long span of time. It's like you're shifting into a reality where you're unrecognizable compared to maybe what life tried to project you to be. It's like something assisted you to override the system to help you see in a different way. It's like you did work, you did, meditations, and awakened yourself to reality in a unique way. And it's like once you do that, you just see the world differently, and being your most authentic self just feels effortless and easy, knowing what you just know. And you continue to learn. We're gonna go right into the tarot. So you got the Page of Wands, which is this message, being more playful. The Queen of Swords, you're being more playful with your communication, that nurturing communication, because she's got the swords and she can come off harsh, but it's coming out with this playful energy. So maybe you can, assert yourself, and maybe you are adapting in this way where, you're wielding your sword however needed, depending on which side of the sword is required, basically, perhaps, but in a way that is in a nurturing embodiment. I feel like that's an important aspect of who you are becoming. And the enthusiasm and the playfulness behind it is also important, because I feel like how we can wield our sword in many different ways, right? Our sort of communication. So perhaps right now you're in this queen nurturing energy, embodying this level of playfulness with how you're using your voice. And you have your eyes on something like an ace. It's something that you already conceptualize, you already see it, and you'd like to start that. Like that's the goal that you have your eyes on right now. And not just that a goal, it's part of your destiny. And the universe is like saying, yes, do this. I mean, the momentum you're gonna need for it is already building, because you're already in this playful, enthusiastic state of how you're being creative with how you're wielding your sword. So this is, another form of who you are, right? And it's part of your destiny. And it's like, perhaps just even today, you got a taste of the conceptualized vision. Like, it's like sometimes when we're doing something, no matter how much we're doing it, it's like we can't conceptualize it, so we don't know how to be it beyond the doing, or like the learning. And it's like when you don't know what you're doing and you're just building your, like, what surrounding something, it's like you don't know what you are in it. It's like you get to that space where you start to be able to be creative in it. Something that where you, for whatever reason, couldn't conceptualize to be it. Right now, it's like the start, the one towards that, in a more open, easy path for it. No resistance. It's the energy is for this, what you're just recently conceptualizing as far as how how you see yourself using your voice. In the distant past, you ended a cycle, a cycle of how you're of consciousness or of a way of being. I think of resetting your nervous system or resetting the way you think towards something. I only thought of the nervous system because I myself, since the start of the year, was a heightened request of my inner self, was to really gain a strong tool that would assist in that area, which I could just like, because so much can put stress on ourselves. I don't mean to not look at the camera. So much can put stress on ourselves, and that can lead to stuffing. And it's like when it's so strong and on top of you, at sometimes it's like you can drown yourself with coffee and working out, and even positive things can become toxic. I think of working out, you know, sometimes when it's like nothing else you can do, but that one thing, it can be done too much. Like I think of overtraining. You could have, and getting an injury, and then, you know, suddenly you realize, you know, running on coffee and running on how people are shoving you around just because you're just being you as best you can and allowing people to be them and doing your best to meet people in the middle consciously, because you get this space where you perceive people where they are, and it's like you try to be compassionate by, you know, either being in your solitude as needed, or, you know, knowing when you can engage with people, because you kind of you have this keen sense to be able to know when you need to just retract your energy for you, or when you can be more I don't know, when you can be a part of the community and connection. Knowing who's for you is a big importance when it's just this importance for you to be surrounded by the right energy, because you don't tolerate, you stand up for your beliefs. And I say that because there's this Five of Wands energy, and you perhaps had to, like, I feel like there's this competition in what you're passionate about. I didn't mean to run off on that one, but I think about how there could be like a lot of competition to what you're passionate about, but you come into it in this so authentic to you way, and it's like your own path, and it's like a divine path. So despite the competition, don't really pay attention to that, or, you know, don't let that deter you from moving forward, to continue putting those steps in every day, because a path is opening up for you, and you've put the work in by not allowing, you know, that energy to stop you. Okay, so that was weird. It wasn't weird. It was because my camera was full. So I had to just reset the camera. So we got to your future influence, which is balancing out your life and your success in your, you know, this could be like your children, everything. And you're balancing it in a way that you're also very suddenly abundant. So you're balancing your own abundance, learning to balance your abundance. It's like learning to manage a great deal of money. Like, I feel like how this person is walking on a tightrope, and it's got all these two coins, and this came out with it where it's like you're balancing and a level of abundance that you've never like you've never seen before. So you're a little feeling like this person on a tightrope in a way, just because of the magnitude of the amount. Moving forward, you're going to be able to living life like the Fool, liberated, free to live a life without obstacles to your next great adventure. So think about that, being able to, as a perspective, be the Fool and have what you need to fuel any passion that you want to take that action step towards. Because like the Fool, you are just liberated and free. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Let's see, I just had to find my notes. The drive for truth and wisdom through pursuing a goal or idea with confidence and focus. I feel like this is like you embodying, because this is your environment. So it's like you're able to quickly forge your way forwards with confidence, pursuing any of your ideas. You have this inner emotions of the Star, and that was something I was thinking about earlier when I thought of the royalty. You may, if you on your inner emotions, you feel like a star. You feel the connection. You feel like a star planted on Earth to assist and guide through your passion of choice. Because that's what, this was the reason why I thought of that, is like a star planted, because you feel like the star emotionally. And I think of this water lily, and for some reason it's like the lotus flower opening up. True success is a long game. You don't rush the process. Got manifest, or no, I'm sorry, excuse me. I apologize. Got manifestating. Creating long-term, with having this long-term longevity. Okay, let me just back up a second, because I'm got a few cards at the same time. We got the Moon, the Chariot, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Magician. So the Chariot, your natural structure of self protecting you right now. Think about that. Your natural structure of self protecting you right now. Feeling connected to the right, being in the right place at the right time. In a positive way, your life is shifting. And I wrote down, you're unrecognizable compared to the cycle you ended. Exploring your psyche, exploring the psyche. Like I was just saying, true success is a long game. You don't rush the process. And let's see. We will pull a card from the 42 Ideals of Ma'at in Daily Life. I know I was really not looking at the camera as much as I wish I could, but I was kind of already tired starting this one because it's so late. It's like, what time is it? I think it's like 2 o'clock in the morning because I had this is the time I know I can do it. It's the quietest time of the day for this household. For the long form, that's like trying to do a long form during the day is just like, I don't know, asking for it on a level. So let's do a card from the 42 Ideals of Ma'at in Daily Life. I spread joy. I spread joy. She looks like she has this, I love the triangle, and I've been really finding heightened reasons to be more appreciative of the triangle. I think of the elements, you know, how they're triangles. Fire, water, air, earth. And I think about how these elements, these shapes are just like, I feel like they're just like, they're this frequency. I think of triangles, and I don't know, you wonder about, you know, how symbols are a language also too. And sometimes I feel like our own language slowly, on different ways, it's either it poisons your mind or assists your mind, depending on what you're either saying or listening to on a consistent basis. Because then how you're programming your mind, right? So let's read from the book, because this is the 42 Ideals of Ma'at in Daily Life, and there's just a lot of wisdom within this, within these cards. And I will work on getting these started a little sooner so I'm not up so late. One of these. I spread joy. Well, I was actually, just before starting this message, I was preparing and playing my guitar, and I could see, you know, I can see how falling into being it just sparked this new conceptualizing towards being it more whole and completely after putting a lot of work towards it over a long span of time and not really knowing how to embody it or how I would like to the greater vision for that for myself. So as a way to resonate to this message. So 21. I spread joy. So we have rest in peace is a sentiment offered at the end of life to express well wishes for slumber undisturbed. One can't help but wonder why in waking life we aren't wishing everyone to live in peace, so as to be awakened undisturbed by notions of the end, daydreaming fully alive in a state of joy. To awaken to joy and live in the language of ecstatic expression is to drink in the dance of life and hydrate the soul with happiness. William S. Burroughs, a controversial postmodernist writer from the best generation, theorized that language was a virus from outer space. I just said this. I was just saying that I think certain words are like there's a few words that I think are not good for our minds just because of the way they sound and the message that it sends to our consciousness and the fact that we repeat it over and over again. But there's certain words that are so ingrained in us that to tell somebody that I think that it's poisoning their minds. Like there's one word specifically that I'm thinking of right now, and it's like I have this fear sometimes of like saying I think we're poisoning our minds by using it all the time. I'm not gonna go there. But the one I will go there with is the word sorry. I think that's one we should not say and at all. I'm doing my best to say it as little as possible. That I apologize, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, things like that. And to embody apology, not to just passively say those words, because those words, it's like a short circuit permission slip to not truly do anything to be different, but just passively like, yeah, that's me, but especially if you feel like you had to say that. Okay. By definition, is a small infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cells of other organisms and grows and evolves by spreading from host to host. When information goes viral, a bit of news or a new idea spreads with mimetic movement and seems to reach critical mass faster than the speed of light. Laughter yoga, or Hasya yoga, posits that by practicing prolonged periods of voluntary laughter, you can receive both psychological and physiological benefits, and when done in a group setting, laughter that starts out forced eventually becomes infectious, and the unleashed joy becomes contagious to all who participate. Looking to joy as a practice in living fluently in the idealized language of light is the embodiment of ecstasy, rapture realized and revealed within a wrapper that refreshes. Becoming fluent in the language of spreading joy is an exercise in belief and a study in movement. Dance and movement are an effective way to find communion with the divine in an awakened dream state, and have been a tool for connecting to altered states of consciousness for over 40,000 years. The Egyptians held ritual dance for both funeral and festivities in high esteem. For Native Americans of varying tribes, dance is not only for amusement, but also for ceremonies to honor and heal, to offer prayers of gratitude for victory, and to unite the community. When viewing the body of your own great work as the structure communication of cosmic elation, you become a host of happiness, spreading lightheartedness with your own mimetic momentum. Live in peace and extend the information of an idealized existence to the lives you touch and the joy you allow to go viral through your own embodied expression of infinite effervescing. effervescing. So I feel like there's this, somebody, like the energy, something you're doing could even go viral. But I think how something that goes through the entirety of humanity, how some things can be not for the greater good, and then there's things that are for the greater good. And it's like those things that run rapid through humanity that are for the greater good. It's giving the energy towards the direction we all would prefer. We would all prefer a greater future for our children, our children's children, our children's children's children, you know, the generations of life moving forward. How would we like our planet to look, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now. Knowing that every single day that we're here, we are part of the future also. So how we affect the present moment is how we affect the future. And every single person that chooses to put self-love into themselves and chooses to affect the world in a way that allows more to do the same, it gives, you know, life a chance to be its authentic self, to know itself in a way where it can find that greater potential, that greater vision of unity. Because I think about how teamwork makes the dream work. What's the dream? To live our lives in a way that we are actually living our lives, but also where we are in balance with each other, in a way where we can actually all get to a place inside that, you know, it takes a person, it takes a lot of things to push a person in a certain direction sometimes. And those that think that they know sometimes, no matter where you are in life, you find ways to be enlightened. And that can only lead to more of that good in the world. I'm running out of juice here. So I'm going to leave this here now because I think I said all I can say about this. And remember to live in peace. Live in peace. Embody, you know, how you're affecting others. Are you embodying peace towards others? Because remembering anytime you so much as send an energy signal towards someone that's a negative signal in any way, you know, you're affecting that person. So putting self-work and self-love, meditation on a consistent basis, you raise your consciousness in a way where you're not a part of the problem, you're a part of the solution, because you took that time to know where you are the problem and know where it's someone else, and just accepting yourself. And also once you have proper boundaries, you don't, you know, shift in how you're able to be pushed around or whatever. You're not going off. You know, some people who go off on people, you know, something that they're dealing with, and they blame shift it on something else when they're just not perceiving something clearly. It's like looking at a mirror. I mean, sometimes we should look at our mirrors more, because the more we look at our mirror, the more that we perceive ourselves. Because somebody can say, oh, I know you better than you know yourself, because they're seeing you like your mirror can see you. So if you're doing something where you're putting yourself in front of yourself and seeing yourself, know thyself, you're part of a greater vision for the entire world, that every single person doing that builds a form of momentum that can only lead to greatness, greatest of all time, within humanity itself. To allow humanity itself, all of humanity, to embody its true and whole and complete self. To not be in separation, to be actually united. And I thank you. And if you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe. And remember to live in peace. Thank you.